Good afternoon and good morning, or buenas tardes, boa tarde. Thank you all for joining us today. We have another wonderful webinar with Galavanta, and here is Cristina Consuegra, the co-founder of this wonderful DMC in Colombia. So Cristina, today you have prepared a special theme, especially after your own delivery. I think you want to do something focused on family.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Dominique. As you said, today we'll be focusing on family travel in Colombia. And I know that sometimes people don't think about Colombia as a destination for family travel. However, Colombia is in fact extremely family friendly. Colombians by nature were very family oriented. And for those of you, and for those of you that have had clients that have been here with kids, you can tell when you walk into a hotel or into a restaurant, especially with babies, the first thing it's like, oh my God, it's a baby. How old is he? And people are very accommodating. And it's not just the fact that people are accommodating, but it's also the fact that there's so many really cool and interesting experiences that we can offer throughout the country, and it's incredibly diverse. As you can see here, this is just a very quick snapshot of the kids that we have and the families, the different types of families that we have here in Colombia. And so it's a great way to showcase the importance of families here. And as we always say, if the kids are happy, the parents are happy. So for us, family travel is all about designing experiences that are for the kids, whether they're 1 or 2 years old, 12 or 13, which is that tough, awkward stage, or whether they're 21, 22, 23, because kids in different ages have different needs. So you cannot put all of them into one bucket. We have to be able to tailor it exactly to not just the interests and the ages of the kids, but also the preferences. They're so different, the kids. So we really want to understand that. The more you tell us and the more we can tailor it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to showcase a few destinations that we love to offer to families because of the diversity of experiences that there are. Talk about a little bit about the experiences, and also obviously the lodging options, which are very important. So Barichara is our first one. We love Barichara. It's this colonial town in the middle of the Andes region. As you can see here, it's this whole region is the Andes, and it's this tiny colonial town in the middle of nowhere. It is a little bit tough to get to, but once you're there as a family, you can spend 5 days, which is great because there's 5 days or more at least. And it's great because once you get there, you don't have to be jumping around to other destinations to do the incredible diversity of activities that you find here. This is a beautiful colonial town, as I mentioned. It's preserved a lot of its authenticity. It's very family oriented. When you walk around the town around 2, 3 in the afternoon, it's packed with local kids coming out of school, going to their friends, and there's tons of family friendly options for kids for different ages, which is what we love. Barichara is located, as I mentioned, the Andes Mountains. You're right beside the Chicamocha Canyon. To get there, and I'm going to send this over to you guys, so don't worry about taking notes. You can fly from Bogota, Medellin, or Cartagena to Bucaramanga, which is the main city, and then you drive 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours is a beautiful drive because it's with incredible views of the canyon, and then you can get there. Or you can drive through to the other colonial towns like Villa Leyva, where you can do a 1 overnight stop, sleep there, have some cool activities, and then you finish driving. Not driving yourselves, but your driver takes you there, because it's a very good option to have that driver. So you can do a bit of a road trip through the Andes Mountains, and you have different types of towns, which is really exciting for kids because there's colorful towns, there's whitewash towns. And anyways, each town has a different story and a different culture. Or for those more higher end clients, you can take a private charter, fly in. It's 50 minutes from Bogota airstrip. You can use a Grand Caravan. We use Piper Navajos, King Airs. You fly into use a little private airstrip that we use often, and then from there it's 30-minute drive. So there's different ways to get there depending on budgets and preferences of clients. There's also the option of a helicopter for the more adventurous clients. There's really great options, and what we always do is that we fly them into the Chicamocha Canyon. It's an incredible flight. We land in different spots, and then we finish off in Barichara. What our lodging option, our favorite option is Casa El Presidente. This is one of our a private properties that we manage exclusively at Galavanta. It's this beautiful colonial house. It was the residence of President of Colombia. He was an artist, a philanthropist, a poet. And all of the profits of this house, currently the owners donate all the profits of guests that stay there. The owners donate them to different charity causes around education, around art, and around health. So when you use this property, not only is it great for it's a historic landmark. It's a philanthropic project, but it's also great for kids because you have really ample spaces, as you can see here. There's large garden, big pool, which is safe. There's no infinity borders or anything like that. Lots of space to run around. It's 5 rooms in total. Very, very comfortable for kids. And as you can see, all the rooms have ensuite bathrooms, and they're one beside the other. So parents don't feel like they're very far from their kids. We have done this for families, but also even we've had sometimes it's just one couple that they just wanted this really historic villa and they wanted it for themselves, and we've done it then. So it's not too big that it feels outrageous for one couple, but it's ideal for 1 or 2 families to take over together. The rates start at $900 for 2 people, and obviously the incremental, the rates increase depending on the number of people. And gastronomy, like everything that we do, is so important. So we have an incredible on-site team, and we can offer the property, whether it's just breakfast, half board, or full board. In terms of experiences, this is Barichara. It's this beautiful, ultra safe colonial town. When I mean safe, is people don't lock their doors. That's how safe it is. Here, there's anything that happens around the rest of the country, you don't get it in Barichara. So it's a little bit of like a bubble in the middle of the Andes. And it's a great place for families, aside from the activities, to just walk around, roam by themselves, visit cafes, art galleries, shops that there are. And it's also a great place also for those people who like culture and history and architecture to also do experiences around those topics. This is a great place also to be active. So when I mean active, it's mountain biking, trekking, these types of activities. Biking, for example, can start with kids as young as 8 years old. So there's small bikes, obviously, for the smaller ones. And we really do adapt the trails depending on the fitness level of the kids and the interests of the family. We always have a backup vehicle. So if one of the kids gets tired, pop them in the...
Oh, we lost you, Christina, for a minute. I don't know if I'm the only one who lost Christina. She's frozen in time. Okay, so I thought maybe it was me. It's like so much a big storm outside my window. So Christina is frozen, huh? For everybody. Yeah, with hands up. The thing, it's her presentation, so I don't know how to unfroze her. Let me call her, huh? Let me just call her.
All right. Oh, I'm here.
All right. That was fast.
Hi. Oh my goodness.
If it was me only, you know.
So sorry. So we can organize to have bikes that we can donate for the families to donate to the kids while they're doing the bike riding. There's also great experiences such as a whitewater rafting. There's 3 different levels. There's 3 different rivers with different levels of rafting for different types of ages. And we can combine this, for example, biking first and then whitewater rafting. Amazing trekkings. We can do anything from a short 30-minute walk to a much more intensive trek for older kids. And then lots of adrenaline sports. So paragliding, rappelling, canyoning. So lots of really cool things to do. And this is going to be especially for those kids like, 10, 12, 13 and older, where you want to be able to impress them with really wow experiences. For those who are going to be less active, there's an incredible art scene. So doing crafts and meeting local artisans and artists to do maybe an afternoon of pottery. There's also a really beautiful project that the owners of the house actually founded this. It's a workshop where they.
Now, we don't see your presentation anymore.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. There?
Yep.
Okay. So there's also this really, sorry. So what I was mentioning before, there's great trekking, there's rappelling and paragliding and adrenaline sports, arts and crafts. And so, for example, going and doing a workshop on recycled paper. So anyways, lots of really cool activities to do. You can spend, and coffee harvesting is another one here, or cacao harvesting. So lots of things to do. You can spend at least 4 or 5 days there. Another great destination is Cartagena. This destination you're a lot more familiar with, but a lot of times people say, well, Cartagena, it's just, you do one city tour and then there's not much more, to do. City tour and then there's our islands. Actually, there's a lot more stuff to do, especially with kids. Cartagena is very easy to get to. So yes, aside from flying in through Bogota and doing a layover, there's also direct flights coming in from Amsterdam. There's direct flights coming in from New York and direct flights coming in from Miami and Panama as well. Our favorite property here is San Agustin. It's a beautiful colonial place. It's going to be good for older kids. We recommend it more for older kids, as the swimming pool, as you can see here, is a little bit tiny. So when you have 6-year-olds that want to splash around, perhaps not the best one, but it's going to be good for perhaps the 12 and 13-year-olds onwards. But they accept kids of all ages. So they're very open and very family friendly. Very beautiful spaces, very cozy. The Sofitel Santa Clara is a much more big hotel. It's beautiful. It's 123 rooms, lots of connecting rooms, lots of rooms with twin beds, which I know is key for families. And especially when you have, 2 17-year-olds who can't touch each other. So that's when you want the twin beds, and you have a very big pool. So you can have all the 6-year-olds splashing around here. There's on Sundays, for example, and I do this with my family. We go there on Sundays because they have an area for playing with jumping and entertainment and everything for the kids. So it's a very family oriented hotel. And there's also a number of villas. Sometimes families, maybe it's 1 or 2 families together traveling, they want to take over a villa, and we have a number of these really great properties, very family friendly. We staff them. For example, this one has 4 bedrooms, all with ensuite bathrooms, very spacious. And we always staff them with housekeeping, a cook or chef, English speaking host, and we can do anything from yoga to dancing and all sorts of really cool, cooking classes and, all sorts of activities on these private villas. In terms of experiences around Cartagena, we've designed some really family focused stuff. So for example, Pirate Tales, that is our take on the history and architecture of Cartagena. This is the kids version. So we have at our office, we have hats and swords and eye patches, and we know it's 3 girls here, then we'll have these little treasure chests that are designed for girls that age. If it's boys, we'll have treasure chests with cars and toys that are for boys. And it's really cool because we take them to the forts, we design some sort of a treasure hunt, and the kids are entertained. In the meantime, we have a really cool historian who takes the parents, and they get to enjoy and learn about the history and architecture and culture of the city. So we can really cater to both parts of the family. There's also really great experiences around cacao. So making your own chocolate. This is great in the afternoons. For example, really cool experiences around surfing, learning how to kite surf. For example, if you have older 16, 17, 18-year-olds, boys, for example, or girls who want to learn how to kite surf, they can spend, a week here. Parents can do all sorts of activities, and then we send the kids over to do their surf or kite surf classes with a member of our team who takes care of them and ensures that everything is safe and okay. Dancing and drum classes, there's lots of really cool options, and we've had, 5 families with 7-year-olds learning how to dance salsa, and they have so much fun, and we can combine this with really cool drum classes. Volunteering, this is a really great experience. We're really pushing this. We work with an amazing organization here called Domino's, and with them, they work lots with different types of foundations. And so when, for example, we'll ask the family what type of volunteering they like. They like education, they like arts and crafts, they're interested in sports. So we pair the family's interests with the different foundations or initiatives around Cartagena, so we can make sure that the family can really get involved. It can be 2-3 hours, it can be a full day, or it can be multiple days. So you can really adapt the program depending on the clients and the travelers' interests. And finally, there's really great experiences around nature. People don't think of Cartagena as a nature destination, but in fact, just 45 minutes from here, there's nature reserves where you can go see monkeys and birds and do short treks, or you can do long treks. So it really depends, again, on the interest. And family, we can keep people active. There's really great experiences around kayaking, and there's different routes that we can do. It can be a short kayaking session, sunset kayaking around Cartagena, 20, 30, 40 minutes, or you can do a much more intensive expedition across the bays up until the islands over in Tierra Bomba, and then you can spend the day there just doing, relaxing at one of the beach clubs. And then biking. I know we have lots of families who ask for biking. They love this. So we have really great options, whether it's in the old city or outside of the old city, but it's a great way to experience the old town as well. Moving over to Medellin, this is another very family friendly. And again, I want to present different types of sceneries. We went from an old town, old colonial town in the Andes. We went to Cartagena, which is Caribbean coast. Now we're going to a city. And cities are great for kids because there are lots of really great options. Medellin, again, is relatively accessible from different international flights. And there's also very easy to connect with Bogota and Cartagena, as there's lots of connecting flights internally. Yes, Medellin had a very difficult drug past and a very bad history, but today it's one of the most innovative cities in the world. And one of our favorite hotels here is El Cielo Hotel. This is a new property. It just opened a few months ago. Actually, when I was there a few months ago, I was there like literally the week it was opening. So that was probably around March that it opened. This is by the famous Michelin star chef, Colombian chef, Juan Manuel Barrientos. So you can expect the same level of sophistication of El Cielo restaurants in the hotel. It's only 31 rooms, so it's boutique, it's very personalized service. The rooms are very comfortable, on point in terms of decor, and you have a really beautiful rooftop pool. There's a massage area, a spinning exercise area, but the pool in particular we find is a really great option to have in the cities, as after afternoon or after morning or a full day of touring. It's a great place to just unwind and have the kids play and relax. Marriott Hotel is another interesting option. It's obviously going to be much more corporate, but this is an interesting contemporary decor. Again, large pool, lots of rooms with connecting rooms and twin beds, same as El Cielo. And finally, we have El Patio del Mundo, which is a favorite of many people. Unfortunately, with Patio del Mundo, there is a policy that it's only kids 12 years and older. However, now there's 2 houses with many more bedrooms. So there's an option of doing a full takeover of one of the houses, which is great if you have maybe 2 families or one big family wanting to, have a much more private space. And then we have much more freedom in terms of the age of children. In terms of Patio del Mundo, it's ultra boutique. It's a bed and breakfast. It's ran by a French woman who's been living in Medellin for many years. And as you can see, there's so many unique touches in terms of decor around the property. It's a very special place, and it's very well located. You're just steps away from the top restaurants and bars and shops in Medellin. In terms of experiences, as I mentioned, it's all about experiencing the social innovation. How Medellin went from the most dangerous city in the world to the most innovative. So it's going to las comunas. Las comunas are like the favelas in Rio, the Medellin version. And this was the most dangerous neighborhood in Colombia. And now it's this fascinating place full of staircases and these types of slides. The whole connection, the whole transportation system is connected through gondolas. And we do this with a group of an art collective. Some of them were ex-gang members who are now artists and dancers. And it's a really fascinating place to see how things have turned around. Very fun. It's all about immersing in the local culture. And we have done this with kids of all ages. And obviously there's lots of street art, really cool characters. And it's obviously very safe. So we do this in Comuna 13. And also there's other places, as we always like to steer away from the super touristy spots. We have found other spots around Medellin where we can experience that social innovation. So here, this is Moravia. It used to be the biggest dumpster in Medellin, and they turned it into the biggest garden in Medellin. You have a beautiful orchid collection, and it's all about teaching. You know, you do, and we do these tours a lot.
I think Christina lost her internet, so let's see. Sorry about that. That's the first time. Usually she. Let's see if she's going to join us again, I suppose. Voilà. It's incredible, huh? This Medellin. Voilà. So Christina, please come back. I cannot make the speech. Maybe I should learn all of this, or I should be the one having the presentation. But Christina, let's see. She's coming back. All right, my dear. It's the first time. It's your first time ever, and we have been doing it since last year. So
I know. I have a problem with my computer. Sorry about that. Too much information, but I'll get it fixed for next time. So as I was mentioning, RV. Oh, sorry. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
RV park is going to be more around nature. So you're within 30 minutes of, no less 20 minutes from Medellin. You can be in this beautiful park with rappelling and all sorts of like really cool activities for kids of all ages. And obviously football is the biggest thing in Colombia. So, you know, when things will get back to normal, hopefully, taking families to watch a soccer match, it is so much fun. So we always give the kids souvenir jerseys of the team that they're going to go support. We take them with our local hosts so they can go and have the full, you know, immersive experience. And just outside Medellin is a great city because you're surrounded by mountains. You're in the Andes Mountains, technically. So just within 20, 30 minutes, you can be in the countryside. And in the countryside, we can do so many activities, anything from horseback riding, visiting coffee plantations, doing ATVing, for example. So there's lots of really nature-focused activities that you can do during the day, and then you can always come back into the city at night for a very comfortable stay at a beautiful hotel. And finally, music. Music is one of the highlights of Colombia. So being able to go and meet artists. So Sombata, for example, is really great musicians with drums. Or for example, we've had this really cool experience for 20-year-old kids and they really like house music. So we paired them up with a local DJ who taught them how to, you know, use DJ equipment and everything. So it was a very cool experience for them to meet a local DJ and learn how to use the decks and music. And as I mentioned, lots of really cool adrenaline sports like ATVing, paragliding. I know that we're working right now a really cool itinerary for two couples, for a dear agent and friend of ours. And for example, the wives are going paragliding and then the husbands are going golfing in the same day in Medellin. So there's lots of really cool things to do in the city. And then finally, the coffee region. This is one of our favorites as well because it's pure countryside, lots of nature, good connectivity with Bogota and Medellin as well. Our favorite properties there are Hacienda Bambusa. Many of you know this place, and it's, you know, open spaces. You have connecting rooms, you have twin beds, so it's very comfortable property and very family oriented. As soon as you walk out, you can go horseback riding, you can visit the cacao plantation, go biking. So lots of stuff to do inside of the property, which is key. Then you have Sasagua. which is another beautiful property, slightly bigger, also very family oriented, but in this case, it's not open spaces, right? There actually are, it's an enclosed hotel. So you do have to travel a bit to get to the activities. Nonetheless, the beautiful property, have birds all over the property, very comfortable rooms, cooking classes. They have a great on-site spa. They have events at night as well. So it's a very, very, very fun little hotel. In terms of experiences, there's lots to do. Again, paragliding, zip lining, obviously visiting the coffee haciendas. But sometimes you say, well, the clients don't really like coffee, or they're not interested in coffee, or they've already done it before. The great thing is that there's lots of activities to do aside from that. Biking is it's a big experience here, because you have lots of different trails and different terrains that you can explore, and different types of biking, whether it's a on-road biking or all-terrain, or a downhill biking, for example. Horseback riding is another great experience here. You have lots of open spaces, and obviously visiting places like Kokora Valley. This is one of the experiences that we really love, and it's our big effort, Dominique. Sorry, one more minute. We always try to steer away from the touristy. For example, Kokora Valley is a very touristy place, and this is where extra work, this is where we go the extra mile, so people can have a much better and more special experience. So what we did is that we found a really beautiful property in the back of the Kokora Valley. We pay a little bit more to have this beautiful picnic setup and have private access to this hacienda, and we surprise guests with a beautiful picnic, and they can have a Kokora Valley all to themselves, versus the Kokora Valley over there, which is jam-packed with buses and people, and lots of tourists, which is what we always try to avoid. So guys, I think that is it for us now. Thank you all very much for joining us today, and for taking into consideration Colombia. I know that we've had a few weeks of protests. It hasn't been easy in cities like Cali and Bogota, where the protests have been concentrated. Here in Cartagena, things continue as normal. We can, everything is fine in Cartagena. The protests right now are on their way, calming down. Negotiations are happening. We've had many clients, actually, Dominique can vouch for us, many VIP clients in the last few months, which is why I haven't had a maternity leave. And not just the VIP clients, but also a few families that we've had from some of our partners who have trusted us. And we managed for them to have an amazing time, a safe time, and have left with brilliant feedback. So even though they visited Colombia in the toughest of times during this pandemic, we still managed to offer a great trip. So things are getting better. Things are improving. Vaccinations are going forward. They're in the process of eliminating the PCR test as an entry requirement. So things are getting good. And don't hesitate to get in touch with us if you have any families or couples or any type of client interested in coming to Colombia in the next few months.
Thank you very much, Christina, for another wonderfully interesting webinar. We just have a question: is Cartagena, the area of Cartagena, still or the very best? That's where you have the very best beach resort in the country, around Cartagena.
So yes, technically right now the top option is Las Islas. It's a great resort. It's 52 rooms. Listen, they have the varying service levels, so I can't promise the same as Dominique's properties in other places of the Caribbean, but it works well. And Sofitel is opening a new beach resort in 2022. Aside from that, we have our own beach property. It's a private villa. It's called Casaleti. So it's a beautiful beach villa, 45 minutes driving from Cartagena. And along the coast, sorry for the long answer, but along the coast over towards the Tayrona region, there's some really cool boutique hotels, and it's going to be more jungle, nature, Costa Rica type of feel beach experience.
Definitely recommend your Casaleti, which is on a private beach, and it's only 45 minutes from Cartagena. Staff, you have a great, well-known chef that's cooking for the guests, so it's really really something.
Exactly.
I think it's still available for New Year. Am I correct?
No.
It goes fast. Maybe 2 days ago.
It goes fast.
Voilà.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
Thanksgiving, it's already fully booked.
No Thanksgiving, we're still available. We're
Right.
available. We have availability this summer as well. So it's just New Year's. It got booked up. We have a few families that were very keen on confirming, and yeah, they took the prime spots. But before the 23rd, 24th, and then after the 2nd, we have availability. So if they want to come still on those dates.
Right now, what we receive the most is Thanksgiving and festive season request almost daily. So, but definitely people are also looking for the summer month.
Perfect. Perfect.
So thank you very much. I do not see any other question anywhere. So before we say goodbye, is there any last minute question? Thank you for everyone participating again. Bruce, you said you love Barichara. And but it was a pleasure to have you, Christine, with us. And Christina, sorry, I do my French version of Christine.
Don't worry. Thank you very much, Serena. Thanks to everyone for joining.
I'll see two more. Just out of curiosity, how is the situation in the country? But you mentioned it already.
Yes.
Voilà. And Marion, you said, I love Colombia. So yes, Celine, everything is, I would say, almost back to normal.
Or it's improving. Yeah. The protests basically are dying down right now. We had a surge in COVID cases. However, right now vaccination is in full mode and everyone is keeping very strict a COVID regulation. So at the hotels, all our staff and team, everyone respects very much all the health and safety regulations. So we've been able to have amazing trips for really great clients without any risks.
Yeah, especially since January, I've been seeing all the email I forwarded you with all these requests, and you took really nicely care of your guests.
Yeah.
Well,
no, we just this weekend we had amazing guests as well. Lots of really exciting stuff that's been happening surprisingly over the last few weeks.
Yeah, Alejandra, thank you very much for this information. You said that is completely different than the normal we always know. Oh, so that's a very nice compliment.
Thank you, Alejandra.
Muchísimas gracias. So, gracias. Thank you. Wishing you a great day. Christina, you look beautiful. And let you go back to your new family. And we'll see you soon. So, bye, everyone. And if you want, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Covered Global, which is also a security for your clients to feel more at peace when traveling. In order to get this membership before, that would permit them, in case they test positive before coming back to their country, to be able to be repatriated immediately without staying in quarantine in the country. So that sounds good. And goodbye, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.